Just about a year ago, the Lord came to me. When crazy is what I claim to be. No psychotherapist could take care of this demonic spirit that was hanging with me. Drinks, women, and Jodeci. I had friends then, but they ghosted me. Thought I wanted to win, I didn't know it then, but those evil spirits were coaching me. Why was I stuck on rap? Why did I trap? Why did I think the more crazy I get, the more trash I spit, they would listen to that? Spiritual influences. There's really no more signs that's hid. They're treating money like it's God. It shows you what times we're in. Sodom and Gomorrah will look at y'all like, yeah, I'm not with them. 2 Timothy 3 shows you how the times will end. They gonna be boastful with money, yeah. Lovers of themselves, yeah. Blasphemers, disobedient, do anything for wealth, yeah. Call evil good and good bad, have no self-control, yeah. They gonna be all about unholiness, not worried about their soul. They gonna be like, what happened? This generation's filled with crap that's leading you somewhere that's filled with black. You gon' be like, what happened? Devil said that you can profit the world, but lose your soul, don't make a deal with that. The Lord saying, come out. Yeah, come out of her, my people. Come out. Yeah, come out of her, my children. Come out. Come out of the harlot system where they're trying to keep your spirit in prison. The Lord saying, come out. Perish because of lack of knowledge. You gon' need a lot more oil on this trip, there's mileage. I'm so tired of emotions over facts, so much fear over faith. It's like y'all know there's a God, but don't believe anything he say. It's too much pastors with demonic masters. Yes, we know you graduated, but God don't care about your masters. If you really got the Holy Spirit, I wanna hear it. If Yahweh's really in your church, the devil can't come near it. Too many churches are worried about the dollar bill. They do not teach in the spirit, we know the letter kills. They do not teach about sin, how could they ever heal? We do not compromise the word no matter how it feels. What happened? This generation's filled with crap that's leading you somewhere that's filled with black. You gon' be like, what happened? Devil said that you can profit the world, but lose your soul, don't make a deal with that. The Lord saying, come out. Yeah, come out of her, my people. Come out. Yeah, come out of her, my children. Come out. Come out of the harlot system where they're trying to keep your spirit in prison. The Lord saying, come out.
Good morning, everybody. What is going on this morning? Oh boy, this is your boy Christian Israel. It is Friday, February 11th. Whew. And we are on fire this week. It is exciting week. We have finished our first full week back, and it is bright and early, 9 a.m. How are you guys doing this morning on your Friday? Do I have sound? Is everything good? Let's check. 11th. Yes, I do. So while we wait, I am going to go ahead and shut the door behind me because I just realized it is still open. So give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Whew. All right, fire this up. Let me take these off because we're not listening to anything this morning, man. We got a crazy show today. I shouldn't say crazy, but interesting. A lot of information today. We're going to get it going. We're going to get it popping, and I am excited to do this show with you guys today. When you guys get in the group, get in here, come stop by, say hello. A couple people told me yesterday that they have been watching, and that's good to hear. So I am excited to see you guys this morning. Whew. This morning, where are we at? XRP right now is at 82.4 cents currently with a little pop, waiting for a pullback, but we are moving. We are moving, guys. How are your bags holding up this morning? Man, this is Christ and crypto. We are kicking it. God is good all the time. It's Friday. It's beautiful here in Dallas right now. It's supposed to be like 73 today. I'm going to warm the pool up today, though. It's a Friday. We need to take a break. I've been grinding. I have a new goal, a new 30-day goal that will kick off starting on Monday. I mean, it starts right now, but it will kick off starting on Monday. I think after this weekend flushes out, I have a 30-day personal trading goal. And I can't wait to talk to you guys about that as well. Also, today we're going to talk about what would happen if financial markets crashed, guys. That's our discussion today. That is our discussion today. And this is an article written by The Economist, so we're going to dive into that. And I think it's interesting that The Economist is now pushing this out there. What would happen if financial markets crashed? That's where we are now. It's a true story. Man, I got my coffee, my Christ, and my crypto. And you guys, bullish on XRP. What's going on, brother? Good morning. Good morning. It is good to see you. We are off and running at 9 o'clock. I'm going to try to do this Monday through Friday. I am going to do this Monday through Fridays, 9 to 10. We are here through the rest of this bull market, and I will be with you in the bear market too, which we've already started here in Bitcoin. Speaking of bear market, that's what we're going to talk about. What would happen if financial markets crashed? They're starting to put it out there, guys. I've been telling you in the first quarter, I've been saying it for 2 years, in the first quarter, 2022, I believe we're going to have our market correction, collapse, crash, whatever they want to call it, but it's a correction that we've already begun to start it. You see it happen in the NASDAQ. You see it happen in the tech stocks. I mean, right now, the S&P is up 0.11 up to 4,500, but the NASDAQ is down 0.17. I mean, it's down a lot from over the week. You got a lot of red on the screen, but what it's really doing, guys, it's just ranging. It's just ranging. You don't have to worry about it. It's just ranging. That's all. Not a big deal. But soon to be, going to the opposite direction. But first, we got to pump this thing to the top. We got to get to the top. We got to get it popping. And that's what we're on. I'm excited, man. We're also going to talk today about some declassified documents that the CIA had recently, capturing Americans' private information, which we already know about that, right? I mean, that's Snowden. We all know about that, but it's just out. But we'll talk about it too. And then we're going to talk about Snoop Dogg and Gala Games. Snoop Dogg and Gala Games. If you were on this channel a long time ago, we talked about Gala in 2020. You could have gotten a Gala at under a penny, like super under a penny, like a half a penny, a half a penny. Some people got nodes of Gala, but then they sold them off when Gala got 5 cents. I was one of those who got Gala at 0.0003 or something crazy like that, and then sold it at 5 cents. Worst sell of all time. I mean, not really. I mean, it's 5x since then. But in reality, I did well. Clients did well. You know, now they were chasing the next 5. I said it before. We just left it to the side, moved in some other assets. That first target hit, which was only wave 1. It was wave 2 to 3, which I didn't think about, and now we're getting ready to do wave 5 with Gala, which should take it up. So maybe we'll dive into that later. Maybe I'll pull up a chart. What do you guys think and look at Gala? And then last but least, we're going to look at the SEC memos. Oh, we got 2 things. We got the SEC memos between Ripple about the speeches and stuff like that. Who put this up? Yeah. Stefan, which is at Lee Retz. Stefan Huber.truth. We're going to go through that stuff. He put a nice little couple thread statements together here, and we're going to look at that. I mean, I pulled up the memo as well, so we'll look directly at these memos. And then I forgot we have something, of course, by James K. Flan, right? That's going to go over the motion to compel that was filed yesterday by the SEC. I mean, I'm sorry, by Ripple. Bleh. But Ripple then, but the SEC then claimed, the whole privilege thing. But we'll get into that. Right now, we're watching these markets. We're in the red. Let's check into where we are on our hefty daily 3-day chart, shall we, guys? As you guys know here, we have the 0.123, which is 91.7. Right, we expected a rejection there. We got a double top rejection there, and now we're getting our pullback from here. I am set, sealed, and delivered. You want to hear this dirty thing? This is how dirty things were this morning. This is how dirty things were. I had my buy set at 80 cents. Or was it 79? I think it was 79. Where'd we go? Yeah. 79 flat. And that thing went to 79.3. I'm going to take a drink on that one. I had a nice big 100,000 XRP buy/trade there to buy, and I missed it by 0.3. And I kept moving it up yesterday too before I laid down saying, man, but then I didn't want to get it caught in a quick pullback and go deeper than expected. You know, I still have TA, I still have emotion, right? But here's the thing, guys. The key is to preserve capital, right? I want to preserve capital. So I can't go out here throwing it all around and hoping, you know. I think I did pretty well here getting to there, but sometimes you got to give yourself a little leeway, because when you people are like, man, I called the bottom or I called the top. Well, if you call it exactly, your trade probably will not fill. Your sell or your buy will not fill if you call it exactly. Because, you know, like I had it going to 79, right? Like, and it went to 79.3 in a sense, because all the different charts can be, all the different exchanges have slightly different liquidity. So when that happens, you get different wicks, right? And so overall, it ended up going down, but it doesn't mean it's not almost there. We can still move in that direction. I'm still not afraid that we will not have a chance to get that 79-cent fill. If that made any sense, I said not afraid. What I mean by not afraid is that I really want that trade, and I'm being very, very patient. I'm being very patient. I'm being so patient. Like, I want to jump in now. Let me give some qualifiers. I do have another exchange where I have some trades open that is just a hodl. And it's going to sit there and it's going to hodl till we get to $10. Right? I'm just going to let that one sit there. Not going to sell. It's going to sit there. And I'm going to level in that trade. Here, I'm trying to do the swing trade, right, to get your normal everyday income. Because this is, you know, I don't get paid to do YouTube. I don't get paid to do social media. I get paid to make money in crypto, okay? So outside of my clients, I like my own personal spending, right? We all got personal bills, so I try to live the life of being in crypto, spending crypto. So I'll make and do a buy and sell or something, say on XRP. I'll flip it into XLM, throw the XLM onto Coinbase, and swipe my Coinbase card. And then I get 4% back in XLM, right? I got to spend the money anyway. I mean, so what are you going to do? You're going to put money in your bank? People are like, don't spend your crypto. That's the whole point. Isn't that the point? Like, why would I buy Bitcoin just to hold it? Then I'm really rich on paper in the end. But if you're never spending it, then it just looks good on paper. The whole point of this space is to get us to be in it, right? So that's where we are. So if I'm going to dive in just a little bit deeper here and take a look at the NASDAQ before we move on, and the NASDAQ is still playing this whole thing out, okay, as we played back on February 2nd, so last week, it's still playing this out. That short would have worked itself out when I shorted. We're still at the bottom. We have not created a lower low yet. I think this is actually a place we might hold, where my parabolic curve kind of gets a bounce off. If it doesn't bounce today, I could see a bounce on Monday, right? After on Monday, but we're going to see how today goes. I really would like, you know what that just got me thinking of? Oh my gosh, it's the Super Bowl on Sunday. Yeah, we got to see what happens in the Super Bowl. I'm going to have to do some TA on that, but I guess by the time you guys see it, we don't know. But we'll be here at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. We'll be here at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Will you be here on 9 a.m. Monday morning? I hope so, because then we're going to really see what these charts are, guys. I think the Super Bowl and the crypto ads that are going to be all over the Super Bowl, without even looking at a chart in previous history, I believe after the Super Bowl, we are going to fire. I'm talking fire. But I would like a quick back test before then. I mean, I think we're going to have crypto commercials left and right, which we're going to show on this channel one day. I'm going to try to find every crypto commercial that played during the Super Bowl. You know, FTX is probably going to have one. You know, Grayscale is probably going to be there. You know, Crypto.com is probably going to be there somewhere. One of those three. And if I was to put my money on it, I'm going to say Crypto.com has a Super Bowl ad. I bet you if I Google it right now, we'd find the truth. Let's see here. Crypto Super Bowl ad 2022. Do we know it yet? Oh, it says right there, CBS crypto companies are spending millions to win over viewers 2 hours ago. Okay, and then I got let's see what CBS has to say. We got 3 minutes. Let's give it a play.
Well, it's bonus season, apparently. It's underway for Wall Street anyway, and big tech companies as well, like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, Apple, and Amazon. As employers remain anxious in the job market, some workers are seeing payouts between $10 and $25 million. Yeah. In a stunning move, House Democrats are one step closer to banning members of Congress from trading stock. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi gave lawmakers the green light to write a bill after months of resistance. They could hold a vote later this year ahead of the November midterms. And cryptocurrency companies are cashing in on the Super Bowl ad blitz. A new crop of marketers, including Crypto.com and FTX Trading, bought spots for this Sunday's game in an effort to reach new customers. So for more on this, let's bring in Money Watch reporter Christopher Brooks. Christopher, thanks for joining us again. You know, these Super Bowl ads are pretty expensive. What are the cryptocurrency companies hoping for? Because these ads are going to reach a very broad market, not necessarily people who are tech savvy.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. The main thing they're hoping for is that people get more curious and more interested in buying and trading cryptocurrency. I'm not exactly sure if that's going to be the case because as with investing any type of assets, it's kind of a personal decision. And for a person to just look at a Super Bowl ad.
I'm going to pause that real quick. Do you see right here? Not now. Do you see it says Crypto.com, FTX Trading, and more were air commercials during the Super Bowl? Okay, I'll continue now.
And say, oh, all of a sudden I want to buy Bitcoin or I want to buy Ether or Solana. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case, but overall, they're hoping to at least intrigue the customer.
Yeah, because, you know, the concept of cryptocurrency is still even a little tough for me to understand, and I've actually really dug into it. I can't imagine what a 30-second ad can do in terms of informing people. But speaking of those 30-second ads, just how much are they costing these days?
So for this year, a 30-second ad at the Super Bowl is about $6.5 million. But that number is sort of deceptive because that's just the number you pay to get the airtime. But a lot of these companies, crypto and otherwise, are also paying the money to actually produce the ad itself. So there's a separate cost of just producing it. And then the $6.5 million is if you want a 30-second ad.
The involvement of cryptocurrency companies, is that helping to inflate the price a little, or is this kind of what we had expected, you know, from year to year in terms of increases?
Well, what usually happens with these Super Bowl commercials, Anne-Marie, is you'll see one or two type of companies come in for like a one-hit thing, and either they'll like go completely bust or they'll do fantastic, and you'll see them going on to Super Bowl commercials and year after year after year. We don't really know what's going to happen with the crypto companies this year. The few experts we spoke to said they don't really expect to see this many crypto ads in the Super Bowl next year, but it really just remains to be seen. There's some companies that for some reason, they're able to like continue to have ads every year at the Super Bowl, like car commercials and like you always see the Budweiser commercial. Those companies have some staying power, but the experts don't really suspect that crypto companies will be that way.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, I'm always entertained by the commercials and the halftime show. You know, for me, it's the commercials and the halftime show, and then there's a game going on, you know, on both ends. That's how it is for me anyways. I know other people
I think I agree with her, don't you guys? There's the commercials and then there's the football game. right? I mean, you got the Rams in the Cincinnati this year, so it could be popping. I'm sure it could be popping. However, $6.5 million for just the commercial spot. Not how much it's going to be to create the commercial. You got FTX, you got crypto, right? So crypto.com, that seems to be who they're going to have. Man. Anyway, that was a fun fact, just a little morning news for you as the Nasdaq comes and tests this parabolic channel one more time. And this parabolic curve, I think if we break below right here, which is looking like it's ready to, it will be a short play here. Look, we're breaking down here, and if we can come back down, it could be a little short, and that's what we're looking for. So that's what we're looking for. So what is going on today? Should we go into the breaking news? Yeah. Let's do some breaking news. Shall we? Let's do it. Breaking news. For $5,000, you can own one of Snoop Dogg's songs on the blockchain. Snoop Lion, Snoopy Loop, Snoop Dogg, D-O-double-G. You can. Isn't that crazy? They actually matched up with Gala Games. Gala dances to Snoop Dogg's beats and doubles investors' wealth in 1 week. Wow. After strong beating a number of crypto assets, that's what it says. One such example is Gala, a metaverse play which has more than doubled investors' wealth in just 1 week. However, the token has remained volatile after doubling investors' wealth. Well, duh, we know that. We don't need to read about that. Yep. Okay, here we go. Hip-hop artist Snoop Dogg has joined the Gala squad by announcing the launch of his new album, Back on Death Row. Music NFTs on Gala Music, thereby leading to a rally in Gala prices. Well, that's what they say, the prices there. But the prices did pump, and it pumped, and it's popped. The stash box of NFTs will be available via Gala Music, and the Snoop stash boxes are limited to 25,000 and are available for $5,000 a piece, guys. So there's $25,000 of those, 25,000 NFTs of the stash box, and available for $5,000 each. And then they give you advice here. This is not my advice. This is what they say. This is for educational purposes only. The Gala token is the digital utility token of Gala ecosystems. It is a cryptographically secured and native to the Gala Games ecosystem. We've talked about Gala on here, Gala Games, the nodes. Anyway, blockchain-based play to earn P2E, right? Play to earn games will shape the future of gaming, and the Gala ecosystem. Gala gaming ecosystem is thriving, said Chandra, who suggested investors keep gaming tokens in their portfolio, anticipating the price to move higher. The price of Gala has surged more than 100% in the last 1 week, despite the latest rally in the token. It is trading about half the price to its all-time high, right? All-time high is around 50 cents. Gala is transferable between users, and they will have full control over how they use it. It is getting the attention of cryptocurrency watchers as the price reached a new all-time high. Blah, 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 blah. Risk. News. Positive. You're going to see that. We're getting ready to run. We're moving from speculation to utility, guys. Speculation to utility. When you get the chance, go ahead and hit that like button. Shameless promotion time. Hit that like button. Help a brother out. Get this going. Get the algorithm going. We'll see if YouTube takes some of these things down, right? So that's some good news there, right? You got some news. Gala and Snoop Dogg. Snoop is just always moving forward, isn't he? Always moving forward. So let's get to the main article of the day. No, we're not. Yes, we are. No, we're not. Yes, we are. Nope. I'm going to do that last. We're going to jump to the next set of news. I changed my mind. The next set of news, guys, is this one. The James K. Phelan Law. You guys are familiar with this if you follow the Ripple SEC case whatsoever. This is one of the attorneys, it's on YouTube anyway. He says this. Breaking. Ripple files letter motion to compel the SEC to turn over notes regarding a 2018 meeting between Brad Garlinghouse and former Commissioner Roosman. The SEC refuses, claiming they are privileged. What's new? Isn't that what they all claim, is that they are privileged? Man, isn't that just insane to me? And then someone posted, we'll just leave it here. And I'm going to go ahead and give this little play here for you.
In 2018, then SEC official Bill Hinman gave a speech declaring that Ether is not a security.
We believe current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions.
He made us believe it was guidance to the market.
It was the first time we had expressed to the world that we didn't view Ether as a security.
But Gary Gensler's SEC says this speech was not guidance. That's not what the markets thought.
The SEC has started to weigh in. Just last week, Bill Hinman communicated that Ether was considered a commodity, not a security.
Even then, SEC Commissioner Robert Jackson made us think it was guidance to the market.
He gave a speech where he laid out, here's how we think about this, and gave a set of principles that the market can follow.
From time to time, the SEC does its best work, not through the cumbersome and formal rulemaking process, but instead by talking to the market. Help me understand how to do this right. And we're working on it. Hinman gave a speech.
And all the while, Bill Hinman was being paid $15 million from a law firm promoting Ethereum. Then Hinman left the SEC to be a partner at the biggest crypto investment fund. Why did Bill Hinman give that speech? How many millions of reasons did he have? It's time for an investigation of the conflicts of interest by SEC officials like Hinman. Only Congress has oversight on
These guys, it's that time, guys. They're going to come for these guys, man. I'm telling you. They are definitely going to come for these guys. We hope, right? We hope that's what they're going to do. We don't know, but that's kind of that. Here's the letter. We're not going to break it all down. I think it's 26 pages. But the point is, the SEC refuses to give the notes regarding a meeting between the SEC and Brad Garlinghouse. They don't want to give the meeting. I mean, why not? Like, if you said you gave guidance, why wouldn't you give the meeting? You know? I mean, it makes no sense to me. Maybe because with StephenHuber.truth, Brad, this is literally a quote from one of the memos that we were talking about, right? So it literally says, Brad, now is not the time to discuss if XRP is a security or not. As SEC chairman, I am more interested in how the XRP ledger reaches consensus so efficient and how a proof-of-work blockchain can switch to a federated Byzantine agreement. And by the way, can you tell me more about your collaboration with IBM? Like, these are the questions in the memos. And here's another one. The SEC memo shows how Clayton didn't want to talk with Ripple about regulatory matters, whether XRP is a security or not, but about Ripple's business and technology, right? Like, he is there completely to spy and figure out what is going on with Ripple. And they want to know more so they can do it ahead of time. That's the craziest thing to me. You know what I mean? Like, here's the actual document. This is from the court listener, document 4247. Right? And it says here, and it basically says the meeting began, and this is between, I'll just read what the memo says, and then we'll jump into the other. On Monday, August 20th, 2018, representatives from Ripple met with representatives from the chairman's office at the SEC's Washington, D.C. offices. Attendees for the chairman's office were Chairman Clayton, Bill Hinman, Director of Division of Corporate Finance, Sean Mimham, and Brian Rabbit. Attendees for Ripple were Brad Garlinghouse, CEO, and David Schwartz, CTO, known as Joel Katz, also known. The meeting began around 11 a.m. and lasted approximately 50 minutes. Garlinghouse and Schwartz spent the meeting discussing Ripple's business and technology. Representatives from the chairman's office occasionally interjected with questions. Towards the end of the meeting, Garlinghouse briefly noted that Ripple was in purgatory due to uncertainty as to whether XRP, the cryptocurrency with which Ripple is associated, is or is not a security. In response, Chairman Clayton immediately stated that the meeting was not the proper forum for a discussion about the topic. He then asked Garlinghouse to back up from the issue and steered the meeting back to the discussion about Ripple's business and technology. Following further discussions of those issues, the meeting concluded with Chairman Clayton encouraging Ripple executives to continue its ongoing discussions with the staff of the Division of Corporate Finance. August 20th, 2018. 3.5 years ago. Nothing wrong then. Hey, you know what? We don't want to discuss it yet. There's clarity, but you don't think there's clarity, but there's clarity. And, go discuss it with the Division of Corporate Finance. See? That's like the whole thing, man. I don't want to get started. I don't want to get started on that. That's going to upset me. It's going to upset me because it's slowing our process down. But we know this is what has to happen. This is what has to happen. Right? This is what has to happen. In order for us to get to where we got to go, this is what has to happen. So, all right, guys, before we get to the main story, that is our breaking news. So let's go ahead and dive into the main story today. Real quick, check in on XRP before we do. Sitting at 82.4 still. Let's hit a reload just to make sure. 82.3 right there. Okay, so let's dive into this Economist story that was launched today. This is today. Last night, today, midnight, today. February 12th, wherever, that's this edition. Like, boom, right there. What would happen if financial markets crash? Well, let's take a second and talk about why would they put this out right before the markets crash? Right before the markets crash. Why would they put that out? I don't know. Let's just go there. All right, anyway. The next crisis. There's so much right here. Just right here. Just the roller coaster ride, which looks like a chart. Wave 1, 3 into 5. And then look, correction, right? That's what we see. The next crisis. What would happen if financial markets crashed? Look to history for a guide, but know that next time will be different. The next time will be different, huh? Let's see what these guys are telling, right? Classes versus masses. Now, The Economist, is this for the masses or for the classes? Let's start here. To read this article, it's a paid subscription. Let's look. Okay, so this article looks about 5 minutes to read, so let's go through it and see what these guys have to say. We're going to spend about 15 minutes on this section, and then, we'll close out with a little Christ in Crypto as a charge check-in. Here we go. For historians, each event is unique, wrote Charles Kindlenberg in his study of financial crises. But whereas history is particular, economics is general. It involves searching for patterns which indicate if a cycle is turning. Today's America's financial system looks nothing like it did before the crashes of 2001 and 2008. Yet, lately there have been some familiar signs of froth and fear on Wall Street. Wild trading days and no real news. Sudden price swings and a queasy feeling among many investors that they have overdosed on techno-optimism. Having soared in 2021, shares on Wall Street had their worst January since 2009, falling 5.3%. The prices of assets favored by retail investors like tech stocks, cryptocurrencies, and shares in electric car markets have plunged. The once giddy mood on Wall Street Bets, a forum of digital day traders, is now mournful. That's Reddit, by the way. It is tempting to think that January's sell-off was exactly what was needed, purging the stock market of its speculative excess. But America's new look financial system is still loaded with the kiss. America's new look financial system is still loaded with the kiss. Loaded with risks. Man, I thought the kiss of death with kiss. Asset prices are high. The last time shares were so pricey relative to long-run profits was before the slumps of 1929. I said this before. And 2021, but 2029. I told you the market structure is exactly the same. And the extra return of owning risky bonds is near its lowest level for a quarter of a century. Many portfolios have loaded up on long-duration assets that yield profits only in the distant future, and central banks are raising interest rates to tame inflation. America's Federal Reserve is expected to make 5 quarter-point increases this year. German 2-year bond yields leaped 0.33 points last week, their biggest jump since 2008. The mix of sky-high valuations and rising interest rates could easily result in large losses, as the rate used to discount future income rises. If big losses do materialize, the important question for investors, for central bankers, and for the world economy is whether the financial system will safely absorb them or amplify them. The answer is not obvious, for that system has been transformed over the last 15 years by twin forces of regulation and technological innovation. New capital rules have pushed a lot of risk-taking out of banks. Digitization has given computers more decision-making power, created new platforms for owning assets, and cut the cost of trading almost to zero. The result is a high-frequency, market-based system with a new cast of players. Share trading is no longer dominated by pension funds, but by automated exchange trading funds, ETFs, and swarms of retail investors using slick new apps, Robinhood, Coinbase, BlockFi, right? Borrowers can tap debt funds as well as banks. Credit flows across borders thanks to asset managers as BlackRock, which buy foreign bonds. There's BlackRock again, which buy foreign bonds, not just global lenders such as Citigroup. Markets operate at breakneck speed. The volume of shares traded in America is 3.8 times what it was a decade ago. It's a lot of trades, a lot of money moving. Many of these changes have been for the better. They have made it cheaper and easier for all types of investors to deal in a broader range of assets. The crash of 2008-2009 showed how dangerous it was to have banks that took deposits from the public exposed to catastrophic losses, which forced governments to bail them out. Today, banks are less central to the financial system, but better capitalized and hold fewer highly risky assets. More risk-taking is done by funds backed by shareholders or long-term investors, long-term savers who, on paper, are better equipped to absorb losses. Yet, the reinvention of finance has not eliminated hubris. Two dangers stand out. First, some leverage is hidden in shadow banks and investment funds. For example, the total borrowings and deposit-like liabilities of hedge funds, property trust, and money market funds have risen to 43% of the GDP, gross domestic product, from 32% a decade ago. Firms can rack up huge debts without anyone noticing. Archegos, right? We talked to Archegos, or whatever that firm was, an obscure family investment office defaulted last year. $10 billion of losses in on its lenders. If asset prices fall, other blow-ups could follow, accelerating the correction. The second danger is that although the new system is more decentralized, it still relies on transactions being channeled through a few nodes that could be overwhelmed by volatility. ETFs with $10 trillion of assets rely on a few small market-making firms to ensure that the price of the funds are accurately tracked the underlying assets they own. Trillions of dollars of derivatives contracts are routed through 5 American clearinghouses. We talked about the clearinghouses with ABA, Bankers Banker Association, side note, and the Federal Reserve, and the flip of the whole thing, November 2nd and 3rd of 2023. Check out my TikTok. I'm going to go to that real quick and check out one of the videos here, right here. I might play this for you later, but that's a good little news segue for what's happening in November of 2023, if you haven't got a chance to check that out. Anyway, Many transactions are executed by a new breed of middlemen, such as Citadel Securities. The Treasury market now depends on automated high-frequency trading firms to function. All these firms or institutions hold safety buffers, and most can deem further collateral or margin to protect themselves from their losses and protect their users from their losses. Yet recent experience suggests reasons for concern. In January of 2021, 13 months ago, frenzied trading in a single stock, GameStop, led to chaos, right? Y'all remember GameStop. People were still all in it. GameStop, AMC. Promoting the large margin calls from a settlement system with a new generation of app-based brokerage firms, including Robinhood struggled to pay. The Treasury and money markets, meanwhile, seized up in 2014, 2019, and 2020. The market-based financial system is hyperactive most of the time. In times of stress, whose areas of trading activity can dry up, that can fuel panic. What's going on, Alex Diaz? Good to see you, brother. Ordinary citizens may not think it matters much if a bunch of day-to-day traders and fund managers get burned, right? They think, whatever. But such a fire, think about it, Lehman Brothers, such a fire could damage the rest of the economy. Fully 53% of American households own shares. Do you hear that? 53% of you guys own something. One share. Something. Up 37% in 1992. So over half of America owns at least one share of something. And there are over 100 million online brokerages accounts. Whew. So that's 100 million, over 100 million. If credit markets gum up, households and firms will struggle to borrow. This is why at the start of the pandemic, the Fed acted as a market maker of last resort, promising up to $3 trillion to support a range of debt markets and to backstop dealers from some mutual funds. Yeah, that was BlackRock. Was that bailout a one-off cause by an exceptional event or a sign of things to come? Ever since 2008-2009, central bank and regulators have had two unspoken goals: to normalize interest rates and to stop using public money to underwrite private risk-taking. It seems that those goals are in tension. The Fed must raise rates, yet that could trigger instability. The financial system is in better shape than 2008. I completely disagree with that statement, but I'm reading. When the reckless gamblers at Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers brought the world to a standstill. Make no mistake, though, it faces a stern test. So this is what's happened in history. They're giving you a history, giving you a warning, but do you see here how this doesn't say anything about what is actually going? It just gives you all the facts there. This is news for the classes. We're telling you it's about time. They are telling you it is about time. What are your thoughts? We know that if the market begins to go the other way, it already has, that everything's going to go. And that's what I'm going to be here. I will be streaming. I hope to go live. I hope to be live right when that moment breaks and this whole thing is going down. I will bring everything up. I'll pop in the short. We'll even play the short live. And we'll do it because it's about that time, guys. It's there. It's all kind of coming together. The news is slowly starting to come out. Oh, so let me go ahead and go here and play this for you. And then we'll move on, right? But this is kind of that the clearinghouse brought it up, but this is it, and I'll play it for you real quick. Maybe not. Here we go.
I think I may have found the date for the flip the switch with XRP and the whole financial system. In this letter from American Bank Association to the Federal Reserve, they say that they believe that a one-day switchover in November of 2023 is recommended for part of the ISO 2022 migration. They say they prefer a one-day strategy. And right here, they say November 3rd and 4th of 2023. That's when they want to do it. And if it doesn't happen then, November 17th and 18th of 2023. We have a date. Do you hear me? Date. Let's go. Like, follow, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy this.
That always makes me laugh. I'm on those. Anyway, yeah, that's the date. Go check out the TikTok. Make sure you follow it. Do the social media thing. Hit that like button, guys. I know we were in and out of here. It's a Friday morning. Things are going. I mean, what are your thoughts? Think about it. Like, are you prepared? Are you ready? Like, are you ready? Are you ready when it goes down? I'm ready. You know, Alex, I think we're going to have I think we need to see what happens in regulation, right? I feel like the equities, we're going to see a sell-off in that meeting in March for sure. But we could see the run-up. You know, I don't do well with comparing news to other stuff, but that's what I see, right? That's just what I see. So, I don't know. Yes, Alex, that's exactly what I'm saying. You definitely 100% get it's not today. It's not today. I mean, you can short this down to 78 cents, and we got the Nasdaq here too. Look at that, reacting right off of that. See that parabolic? It was here, it reacted, it just bounced. I wonder what that was on the 3-minute. Look at that, boom. Came right down to the parabolic curve. Look at that, and bounced. That was live. That happened, what, 9:18? So right in the middle of me reading that article. So we're not quite for the complete shorting, but it's getting there. We'll be there soon enough, my friend. We will be there soon enough. So yeah, it's about that time. It's 9:43. Let's jump in and check on the quant trade. Quant is still singing out in there. We're still doing pretty good on the road to 700. But like I said yesterday, we should reject around 150. Or a couple days ago, Monday or Tuesday. Reject around 150, which we ended up rejecting around 150, 160. And we're back in here, and I thought we'd be back testing this. Look for a little, maybe come back down to 130 if this pulls back. I know Quant is kind of a opposites and trader, right? Quant kind of does the opposite of what Bitcoin does. It's really where when Bitcoin is running, it's kind of going the opposite direction. When Bitcoin is going the opposite direction, it runs. But it still moves together in the crypto market. Quant is just a different beast. It is just a different beast. Okay? You can check in on Bitcoin here. Bitcoin actually went to my target last night, which was 42.95, which is why I was like, maybe my other target might not play in. And we can see here on the 30-minute, we're starting this process here. Boom. That parabolic curve move is starting right here. So the question is, will this fire off? Right? Will this fire off? Or will we kind of grind here through the rest of the day? Right? Grind here through the rest of the day. I wouldn't be surprised. And then do a back test or fire off. That's kind of where we are, right? Like, or we're going to go up, we're going to go down, or we're going to go left, or we're going to go right. Good job, Charles, Christian, whatever your name is. Not hedging my bet there. I'm just kind of giving, this is a 5-minute chart, guys. This is literally a 5-minute chart, okay? So I'm speaking about the rest of, 3 hours? In the next 3 hours, we will 100% have a good idea, right? Because we're getting ready to get reactive. 12 o'clock, 12 Central Time might be a really, really good time to see, which would make sense. That's right after the intraday. We're going to see if this flips. If the market flips and goes green, I think, like we see the NASDAQ, everything's going to go. So I am not one to predict on a short term, like we're going to go here, here, here. I like to look for supports, resistance, jump in and out there, long support, short resistances, right? That's what we're looking for. Too bad I just happened to be on this during that tap there. Okay, Gala, this I was looking at yesterday. Looks like a nice cup of coffee, right? Gala was a good long to get in yesterday at 31.9. I was looking for that. as I drew this. So this is on the road back to 42 cents, which will bring it back up to this KuCoin opening. So we'll see what goes from there, which was close to the top. So I'm excited to see what happens in that aspect of it. And then we're going to move on to, I think we already talked about XRP. That's pretty much all I wanted to look at today as far as the charts. We are falling. We are waiting for a decision to be made. You can see here the MACD has turned green. We are rolling up on the 3-day. That's what I love to see. But if we pull the week, we want to get a nice. The week is still getting ready to go. Look at that. We still got some momentum, guys. And again, this peak here was May of 2021, which I'm pretty sure that is $1.91 day. So we have it. We've broken down. That was the head and shoulders pattern on the MACD, which people normally don't do anyway. But we're going on. We're working our way right on up this line on the weekly, guys. Working our way up. We're okay. We are okay. And I'm liking what we see. Nice little pullback. Long as we close this week, this is our key, Sunday. What is the close for Sunday? I'd like to see, as long as we close above 76 cents, 76.5. 76.5 is the goal to close this Sunday, and I think we're off. I really think we're going to close above 80 cents, but we could see a touchdown to 76, and then go, because we haven't had that back test. And I know for me, I'm waiting for 79, 80 cents to come back to fire off, because I just missed it, as I told you guys, like by 0.3 this morning. But we're here. I'm here for this back test right now. I am here for this back test right now. So we will see. You can see how much more room it has to go. You got to could have a nice little bark going on here. Sugar, doom. Right? Or I could just doom. This is what we're seeing. Flipping this support area and coming back to right here. And this is this Bitstamp chart. So, but my thing is, on the 3-hour, we're still working our way down. So we obviously have a little correction here. Our RSI is kind of chilling under the 30s. So I would not be I would not be surprised to see a quick move down. But for now, this is the area I'm looking at. We know the NASDAQ, we're watching Bitcoin. We know there's pullbacks. We had a nice little pullback yesterday. I just don't know if we're done. As far as the pullback, I mean, I'm not looking lower than 76 cents. But for someone who margin trades, I'm just trying to get in there at a good price to hodl. To hodl. Right? So, John Geese, do I believe it hits $10 this year? Yes. I believe we break $10 sooner rather than later. I think all of our patience, Mr. John Geese, that we have been waiting is about here. And it's showing. All the market signs are there. It's showing. You'll start to see some things pop. I just think we need one more small pullback, which will not give us a lower low in Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to go lower than 40 again. But we need a small pullback right now. We need a small pullback. And I think we'll be good from there. Any questions, guys? How's your day going? Going well? It's about 9:49. It's about that Christ in crypto time. I need to get a graphic for this. I'll probably create one. Man, we got the Super Bowl on Sunday. We got Valentine's Day on Monday. And we got green markets. Not today. Today's markets are red. We got green markets. Even though we invest, always got to know what we really invest in. And I'm going to go ahead and shamelessly plug, and this will be our day. I'll get scriptures out of a book that I wrote. If you guys don't know, of course, you talk about it all the time. Learning to Love in the Wilderness, a 40-day journey of discovery and learning to love myself by accepting the love of Jesus. Somebody asked me, you can get this, guys, on Amazon, and just type in Learning to Love in the Wilderness, Christian Israel. I don't even know. Let's type that in. Learning to Love in the, you can tell I don't type it very often. Wilderness, Christian Israel. Let's see what we get. So, boom, there you go. There's the book right there. Okay, on thrift stores you can get it for $13.87. iUniverse, that's actually who published it. You can get it on Amazon. I've only, let's see, Learning to Love in the Wilderness, VitalSource.com, eBay, Scrib.com, WOB.com. Looks like eCampus.com. In other words, Walmart. You can get the book at Walmart. We're there. So this is not something that's just here. It's just I don't really promote it much. I just started doing it really this week. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I know some of you guys have already read this, and I appreciate you stopping by. So if this is where you get off at, I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by today. Let's go ahead and open this up and just see what we come to. Oh, man. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, man. This is about, I don't know if I want to, I got time to read all this? Let's see. We got 5 minutes. I'm not going to read that part because that's long, and I feel like I want to read all of that. I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm going to read what I opened to because that's how we do it, right? So, here's what we opened to. This is day 23. John Giz said, "Good book, guys. Thank you, brother." I wish I could like super like that comment or something, you know? Like, can we super like a comment? Nope, I can only put you in timeout. And he said he got it on Amazon. Cool, appreciate you, brother. January 11, 2018, 1:38 p.m. In yesterday's entry, I told you about the brief conversation I had with God in the morning. He asked if I was ready to move yet. Yesterday, I wrote my response and his question, and when I finished mine today, I felt satisfied with what I had written. Today, however, I want to share the things I am moving on from and explain who my old self was. To move on from those things, I need to be honest with myself and be honest with God. Yesterday, Ron and I were talking about this revelation and what I wrote about. He said, "I believe that you are writing not only for yourself, you are also writing to God. Your manuscript is a long letter to God. You are walking, talking, and learning about the love of God by writing to Him. I know that I have been praying, fasting, and reading His Word, but I never considered that these entries would be a way for me to communicate with God and for Him to communicate with me. God has always chosen different ways to communicate with us, and it's always been up to us to listen and respond. As always, I decided to search the scriptures for examples of the ways God communicates with us. I won't write out the complete verses. Those will be in the notes section. However, I encourage you to take time to read them. Here are a few examples. And this is just examples, guys, of God communicating with us. The Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, Numbers 22, 20, 41. A speechless donkey with a human voice, 2 Peter 2:16. He has spoken to our fathers by the prophets, Hebrews 1:1 and 2. He has spoken to us by his Son, Hebrews 1:2. Immediately the fingers of a human hand appeared and wrote on the plaster wall, Daniel 5:5. An angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, Matthew 2:13. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven, Genesis 22:11. He made it known by sending his angels to his servant, Revelation 1:1. For the Lord revealed himself to Samuel, 1 Samuel 3:21. There are a few common themes to almost every passage I've read about communication from God. The person who experienced the communication from God had no doubt it was from the Lord. Every time God spoke, sent an individual to me, or revealed himself, it was always for a reason. God always seemed to give directions. I have come to realize recently that if we truly seek him with all of our hearts, like the scriptures say to, he will answer us. We need to pray faithfully and walk confidently. We need to counter all of our trials as joys. We need to remain steadfast while trusting in the Lord without doubt, and he will show himself to us. He will come to us. He will use us for his purpose and for our good. I know that sounds like a lot, but we already have salvation. We already have his mercy. We already have his grace. All we must do is ask and receive his free gift to us. So when God spoke to me yesterday morning and asked me if I was ready to move on, he wasn't really asking as much as he was giving me directions. Leave everything and follow me, and then you'll receive the full glory of God. I'll leave you with this ultimate example of Moses in the burning bush. God appears to Moses as a burning bush and instructs Moses to go to the Pharaoh and tell him to let his people go. Then God tells Moses in that same sentence that the Pharaoh will say no. God says that he will stretch out his hand and strike Egypt. That is when the Pharaoh will let him go. Moses eventually tells God he isn't good enough to speak to the Pharaoh, and he asks God to send someone else, specifically his brother Aaron. At this point, God asks Moses a pivotal question. Moses, who made your mouth? Listen to what I say. They did, but God still hardens Pharaoh's heart. God did all this so Moses would continue to follow God's commands. Stay faithful. Eventually, God's promise to free his people from Egypt came to pass. What a perfect example of how all of his promises will come to pass if we stay faithful. Our job is to be patient, trust him, be faithful to him, and obey him. Man, stay faithful, trust him, and obey. That's what I'll leave you with today. Stay trustful, stay faithful, trust him, and obey. No matter what you're dealing with right now. Do you hear me? Whatever you guys are dealing with right now, trust, be faithful, and obey. I'm talking to myself right now. Whatever you guys are dealing with, man, God is with you. Whether you believe it or not, whether you choose to believe it or not, doesn't make it false. He is our creator, and that's why we're here. That's why we're called new creation. Because once you believe in Christ, you are a new creation. The old you is gone, and there is a new you. You are saved. You have been saved. You have been redeemed. And then you will be filled with his spirit. And the fruits of that spirit are joy, peace, patience, faithfulness, gentleness, kindness, self-control. That's what I'm working on. And I hope that's what will leave you with the weekend, man. Take time and communicate with God. Write a letter. Even if you're writing to yourself, you don't know. But communicate, because right now, guys, outside of all the investment stuff we got going on, outside of all the charts, Alex, yes, I still do use Prime XBT. So the answer is yes. But out of all of that, focus on our Creator, his kingdom, and all his righteousness, and these things will be given to you. Don't worry, celebrate. Don't worry, celebrate. Trust, have faith, and obey. We can do that in the charts, and we can do that in SEC and Ripple. Man, why can't we do that in all great mighty God? And that's all I'll leave you guys today. God is so good. He is so good to us. He is so good to you. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope everything kind of works itself out for you. That you're able to find yourself. That you're able to find him. Because he's looking for you. It's not too late yet, okay? You guys are wonderful, wonderful people. I love you so much. Thank you for kicking it with me for this week. We kicked it for the week, guys. We have finished our first week. So make sure if you've got to this point and you're down for just supporting the channel, man, and helping this grow and helping other people like yourself get information that you may or may not get out. I don't know. There's a lot of information out there. But I'm just here to hang out with you guys. So I appreciate you so much. John Geese, Alex Diaz, Bullish on XRP. I know Leo Crypto, you'll drop in later. My brother Mike, shout out to you. I know you will too. So thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to do the social media thing. You know what it is. I hope you have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. And that's it, guys. It's time to go. This is your boy Christian Israel signing off. Until next time, take care. I love you. I'm looking for the outro, man. I can never find the outro. I love you guys. I love you. My mouth to God's ears to your heart. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and God bless. Later, guys. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and do the thing that people do on social media. At Twitter, at TikTok, you know, New Creation Capital. Let us know, guys. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great day. Later, guys.
Just about a year ago, the Lord came to me when crazy is what I claim to be. No psychotherapist could take care of this demonic spirit that was hanging with me. Drinks, women, and Jodeci. I had friends then, but they ghosted me. Thought I wanted to win, I didn't know it then, but those evil spirits were coaching me. Why was I stuck on rap? Why did I trap? Why did I think the more crazy